In Jamaica, once a promising politician with a bright future, former Junior Energy Minister Kern Spencer had his light put out when he was caught up in a scandal involving missing Cuban light bulbs. After a 6-year trial and a sabbatical from politics, Kern has declared that he's ready to return to the fold. An article in the Jamaica Gleaner on Tuesday suggests that Spencer has thrown his hat in the ring for the Northeast St. Elizabeth seat. The seat is currently held by first-time MP Raymond Price, who on Tuesday announced the withdrawal of his candidacy following an injunction filed on his behalf to stem the candidate selection process. The PNP has since announced that Evan Redman will represent the party at the next general elections. And it seems Spencer's dream to get back into the representational politics does not have the backing of the party at this time. A statement from the People's National Party on Tuesday afternoon says, quote, "The People's National Party will not be considering Mr. Kern Spencer as a candidate for the party in the next general elections," end quote. But Spencer told the CEEN News team that he never said he would run for the seat. He just simply informed the party that he's available.
I said that I am back in the first instance, so I am back and ready and available to do political work at whatever level, including if a vacancy arose in terms of the party. They had rejected both Price and Redman. I have made it absolutely clear that myself being made available, it's to do political work. So I'm not saying that a criteria for me to come back or to do whatever is to be a candidate. I'm interested in. I've never been one to really run down any sort of positions or anything like that. I just think that I owe it to the organization, even at this level.
In the meantime, despite having his credibility take a hit from the light bulb scandal, Spencer is not deterred from thinking that the people's acceptance of him as a politician has waned.
If you do a poll in the constituency right now, as I know a number of us have been doing, you'll find out that I have a favorable ratings. There's always been this sort of love affair between myself and the person. Because I live in the constituency, when I step outside, I'm always interacting with the persons. But I am not politically naive as well. I know that as it relates to the case that was in front of me, it will be something that will have to be discussed, something that will have to be trashed out.
In fact, Spencer believes that he was persecuted publicly as the figurative lamb to the slaughter to pay for the sins committed by politicians of the past.
I believe that I was a sacrificial lamb in which persons in general have been so upset with the political process and so much negatives have been sent over politicians. And I believe that it was even so much about a Kern Spencer, but they just wanted somebody to pay for all the sins that they believe that was committed by politicians since the beginning of independence. I haven't seen another politician whose life was dug up by every investigative arm of the government, from the Auditor General to the Contractor General to the police, to even the defense force came in, the office of the DPP, the justice system. And at the end of the day, the initial report which I filed with the party, which indicated what I was saying, and the party had cleared me, is the same finding basically that formed the no-case submission which the lawyers presented to the court and was upheld by the judge. I think it is also unfair to me. And I can understand, don't get me wrong, I can understand how persons would feel about something like this, because I believe also that I was a victim of how the case was reported. There were several times when I sat in the courthouse and when I came out in the evening and I watched the news, I read the papers, it was nothing near that what was taking place in court. I just need people to understand that I didn't get up on technicality, or it wasn't a bust the case situation. Then at the end of the day, the court didn't even say Kern answer to these charges. They said that there was, it should not have been in the court in the first place. I found myself in an unfortunate situation. I know deep down in my heart that I'm innocent, didn't do anything wrong.
Spencer says he plans to continue to prove his innocence to the people in order to regain their trust and rebuild his credibility.
I've been doing so, but just not in a public way. I don't think there's anybody else right now who moves around the country as much as I do, even in terms of the new business that I am involved in. Almost every single day I'm in a different community. I'm doing some form of shoot for my entity that I'm involved in. And I'm interacting with persons on a one-on-one basis, and most likely the discussion normally come up. And I've been doing that, but not in any sort of public way. But I think that probably the time is now in which I probably need to be engaged surprising the public in a mass way. I think I'm ready to talk about it. I've been very quiet about the whole situation. I've took time to reflect, and I think maybe the time has come now that I probably need to engage the public in a mass way and talk about it. But I'm certainly not afraid to talk about it, because I was innocent from the very beginning, and it was not surprising. So when persons were worrying and wondering what was happening, I said to myself, if the justice system is fair, which I believe it is, then I wouldn't have a problem. When I would have a problem, I thought that I would have a problem, is when, boy, you did something wrong and you're worried that it's going to be found out. But, unless there was going to be some form of fabrication, then I know I had nothing to worry about.